we have heard the stories. Our youth breaking out of juvenile detention centers or committing crimes.
But what goes on in their lives that pushes some of these young people to this point? It's a question our Caresse Jackman wanted to examine closely.
Yeah, it's complex. She spoke to a man who had issues during his teenage years and who turned his life around. And Caresse, it was all with the help of a mentor.
Absolutely, which is so important. And he has quite the story, too. Marquise Anderson was born and raised here. He's now a GM of a Verizon wireless store in Nashville and graduated with honors from Tennessee State University. But his life before that wasn't easy, and he's using his experience to help others along the way, especially teenagers facing hardships.
I had like tunnel vision then.
If life throws obstacles your way, you could say 26-year-old Marquise Anderson has experienced quite a few of them.
Being in a single parent household, it was literally your mom. So I was considered the man of the house. So with me thinking or feeling I was the man of the house, you're going through that age or that time where you think, no one can really tell you what to do. There's not a man in the house to tell you what to do.
He didn't get into serious trouble, but acted out sometimes at school. His life changed when he met Marquise Mannis.
It made it easier for me to, I guess, listen and follow his follow his footsteps. Like listen and do, things or actually soak up what he was teaching me.
And Marquise's guidance helped him. Marquise says when it comes to teenagers rebelling, sometimes it's about not having people around who understand them.
They're not heard, they're not listened to.
If you can give a young man hope, he's gonna make it.
Marquise Mannis is the founder of Stronger Than My Father, an organization in Nashville that helps young people succeed in life by providing them academic assistance, character development, and spiritual enrichment during their early and teenage years.
I think consistent mentorship. A lot of people use the word mentor, but what about consistent? How often is your young man going to see his mentor? You can't see him just once a month, but you have to see him a couple of times. Consistency, where that young man knows I have somebody that believes in me, and you give that young man hope.
While certain crimes have gone up recently, youth crime nationwide is actually a fraction of what it was in the 1990s. From 2006 to 2019, youth arrests for violent crimes have plummeted 50%, showing an overall trend of declining youth crime for 13 years.
And I think that's kind of something that we need to keep reminding ourselves of, that, it's not as bad as it was, but it's still a problem. And as long as it's still a problem, we really need to address it.
It's why Deborah Burris Kitchen, chair of the Criminal Justice Department at Tennessee State, says we need to continue looking at solutions for addressing youth crime and issues impacting them. One way she says to do that is addressing how we as a society criminalize our youth.
The way we identify crime, we identify lower class behavior as criminal. Just the macho attitude that you have to have when you're living in a low income community to protect yourself. We label that as criminal, and we don't label a lot of things that wealthier kids are doing as criminals.
She says mentorship is just one way of changing the direction in a young person's life.
We also have to make sure they have access to the basic resources like food, shelter.
Now Marquise is passing on the torch he learned from Marquise by mentoring the next generation. He's now helping a young man who walked into his store, who he could tell was looking for guidance.
I'll let him know, I'm 26 years old, you're 17, I've seen 10 more years of life than you. I can tell you, with the path you're going down right now, it's not looking so bright. Try it a different way, try this, try that. If you need a shoulder to lead on, if you need somebody to talk to, let me know. I'll definitely, I'll listen to you.
Showing that one person truly can make a difference in a teenager's life. Marquise tells me that he's now linked up with his biological father. After college, they met up and have a much stronger bond. He goes to see him about twice a month, Tracy.
Oh, Caresse. Whoa, thank you very much. What an